My never say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. O see them yopo
of trade fair. Wait. When you have small account TV we so no. So when you have Mami way and the CEO of trade fair. Gabi hunipa, Ekufuado hunipa, obunyina de ayedwuma. So this woman sitting at trade fair as CEO no, or no NMI instructions. They say the Fantasy Dome na is siwana S7 Ghana no. At this point, no yenko bubuntungu. Now the Fantasy Dome, some more contract with a trade fair cry. At the end of the day, as far as we don't have a theater, and as far as we don't have anything going on at trade fair, you say Chinese fono have put anything on the ground, no brick or block on the ground. At this juncture in Ghana, the Fantasy Dome is the biggest in Africa. West Africa, it is the biggest. You know that. Maybe you have not taken your time to Google to check. Say, the Fantasy Dome, no, big and 150 by 50. The question here is, the Fantasy Dome is one, or the Fantasy Dome now, my friend, no. The most interesting thing, they say, it is the biggest in Africa. Kanoforiata girlfriend ni. Your friend Agnes Edu. She is the CEO of Trade Fair. Ghana Trade Fair. She is the CEO. Kanoforiata. Ni girlfriend no. Inti yan hwe krampo no. Say ye ni eye Fantasy Dome. Our contract. Not a contract now and the crowd. What do we do as a nation, especially a government that is crumbling, a government that is trying to let the people understand, say it is willing to do what? To invest and help in the day help in building the entertainment industry. So in Kobe say, okay, a woman say Ebia, I had the trade fair center, Omni Fantasy Dome, our contract. Ebia contract na ende, but let's look at alternatives. And the Fantasy Dome when you are and him fana ende ye kasi ye concert ebeboa the entertainment industry ye betumi hold the concert no. It's a simple question before you take any decision. Again ye betumi say ende say ye a bigger concert in Ghana. Na say ye nya Accra Sports Stadium, ye nya Kumasi Sports Stadium, ye nya National Theatre. Nobody goes there again because basically I didn't see what the capacity in National Theatre and quarter of the Fantasy Dome. Until right now, mami when the name say petuo osi yanko bubuntungu because contractual agreement being ready no. The question is, do we have alternatives? This is the government. This is Baumia also a vision for the entertainment industry, a government-private partnership. Now today, through this petuo, they have gone to break it down. Where are we going to hold concerts? Where are we going to basically have events? And say this lady or the CEO of Trade Fair, Agnes Weno. Before 2016, 2017, now Oyejuma Atlanta Costco. Not up a pass space way with the name. Oko Atlanta Costco. Before Nkofo about power 2016, 17, na eho no Oyejuma na oje less than $12 an hour. Petrol way. Ne boyfriend Oforiata Mobile Power and Obaa so a CEO of Trade Fair. Me sin Atlanta Costco no opepa space ho. O yi space say no opepa ho no asade a EEGIGIGIMM. O hand o spectacles no a hanebua na etu no screw ejuma na oye wo Costco e wo America no go we. And hwene wig I say Cambodia Ponko bia yere na boda ho ye ba bedware no hwe ne wig body tiri so hwe nkwase ade bia oye all because she's dating Oforiata, all because NPP is in power, all because Mark Dantu is behind this nonsense, all because Trade Fair assassin, they just want to take over the land, all because they are about to leave power, so they need to find a way to make sure omo Chinese phobia almost omo constructed Trade Fair 8 years ni omo si dan baako adene so ne si wada dawo Oko Trade Fair, there's nothing there. Someone who says, oh, this gentleman they are interviewing, the gentleman is lying. No, these are the facts. Listen, look, these are the facts. This is a contractor on the Trade Fair signing or signing contract for 10 years. At the end of the day, it ended up at 5 years. Only problem, And this is the contract between or no any trade fair for no, which is on record. Petuo we na friend Agnes, she knows. So this contract was signed 2017, 2018, and it taking effect. And it was supposed to go on for 5 years. So his contract was supposed to, or was supposed to end December 31st, 2023. Which is right. These are the documents. So when you read lease for rental of open space, and it is there, it is between trade fair and the gentleman's company. They signed a lease. Now remember, right after signing this lease, and COVID-19 hit, COVID struck Ghana, COVID hit about 2 years. Remember, time of COVID hit, nobody had events in Ghana. And this is the biggest event space in Africa. It is all a businessman. Now I signed a contract 2017. So I paid the place to be used for 5 years. Now right after that, COVID hit 2 years. No event center was open. This edifice is sitting there. You have actually invested $2 million in the soil because trade fair assassin clay because a benyepono. So he had to spend extra $2 million to get that assassin ready to hold or to be able to support all the equipment or the basis. Now this gentleman does that, and he does not tell you people after 5 years he will not move. He's even in the process. But in 2020, 2021, 2022, COVID hit. Now 2020, 2021, there was no job coming in. This man is not making money. This edifice, $1 million, $5 million over dollar edifice is sitting there. Now, right after COVID, what should trade fair do? So I'm here, the owner of trade fair. I will call this investor and tell you that, you know something, you have been hosting all the events in Ghana. In fact, you have helped the government more than any private investor. So the 2 years na action okrampo no ebia ye besa the 1 year ka would lease no because we are all Ghanaians. We are all trying to help each other. You have spent a lot of money and 2 years went waste because of COVID. Into ye be 1 year crab account ho say na be 2024 December na ebia our contract be end into try finding somewhere before 2024 ends. These trade fair people, they did not consider any of these, but these fools are telling Ghanaians to consider them when it comes to COVID-19. Now you see where it is when it comes to their government. Sagana the nimsa petuona now paper glasses on Atlanta Costco no. When it comes to a government, you some more questions are also forgive us. COVID-19 was in here, so Ghanaians, forgive us. But when it comes to individuals, Ghanaians who have invested millions to help boost the entertainment industry, they don't give a shit. They just break it down. All because en cranfone to ho ema ankofo we ba fat trade fair assassin. That is the idea. Now, when you move forward, you see this, and everything this gentleman is saying, they are the facts. Now you see this. They actually wrote a letter to the lady, and this is the letter the gentleman was saying: request for an extension of lease to enable removal of the tent structure. Inti time a contract ne end no. And a otroye letter. Ekoma aye the trade fair say, oh, I'm requesting, say, because of COVID-19 this year, we all lost money. But can you people give me a little bit of time? One can say man 2 years old, one can say man 5 years old. Also give me a little bit of time. Now mean to me a movie this edifice to somewhere. Because this edifice is not an edifice. I know to 2 parts, not a core. We enye tiku. And I say enye baby a ton watch out to 2 tent na the asa near a kugu baby. This is a multi-million-dollar edifice. We name the number of bathrooms, almost over 80 bathrooms. Almost a reception room. They have changing rooms. They have green screen rooms. They have production halls. Equipment. Millions of dollars are in. You cannot just get up one night and say we have moved it. No, you need time. It's a process. Especially when trade fair no ye edwuma bia serious bia e was say etumi ma be gina ne kon say yini ne ya, because we have seen anytime show the overhead view of trade fair. Chinese one MPP call for mobile, they have not done one job. So what is the emergency here? So they wrote this letter to Agnes. The name is Petuo. Me see Agnes no not Atlanta o. Na Costco, we name Costco. And it's a Ghana A life. Costco. And I'm gonna make you matter to no, you Juma America A life. Oko be a ton space now, or then an pound. So space a bua near what screw not the amount. Atlanta, a hona na oye juma. MPP ba power e dey cover sa petio we friend Agnes can ofori ata girlfriend ne da wa bruchiri e no kosoa ne ba ye de che e no de betena e dey or de betena e trade fair. So when they wrote the letter, what happened was that we wish to formally request a 60-day extension. Fantasy Dome were just asking for 2 months. The date on the letter is there. They were asking 27th of December 2023. They were asking for 2 months, mami 60 days. Na mintimi nyabutre and hire a company that is good in doing this, professionals, to start moving this delicate equipment. 2 months. Fantasy Dome, the amount of event Fantasy Dome a hosty in Ghana. This government say the National Theatre and to me hosty. The government itself, it has held a lot of events at the Fantasy Dome. Or asking for just 2 months. In any day, somebody will be asking for 1 year. Because moving these things is not easy. He was asking for just 60 days. Agnes nenimse petuo. Nenimse petuo. Now, this was the response from Agnes. And I say, a trade fair. This is what they said. They responded to a Fantasy Dome, and this was their response. And their response was on the 28th. Fantasy Dome extra come on 27th of December 2023. I'm gonna reply the next day, 28th. Or my time in Pampum. Now, what did she write? Or say, we acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 27 December 2023 with the above subject, and the subject is request for extension of lease to enable the removal of tent structure. We refer to our letter dated we refer to our letters dated June 6, 2022, July 15th, 2022, July 22nd, 2022, January 3rd, 2023, April 20th, and blah, 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 meeting the verbal communication with you on the above subject. As evidenced in each of the letters, the Trade Fair Company Limited has given you ample notice in accordance with the clauses of your tenancy agreement. It's been 18 months since your first notice to vacate. Due to the location of your tent and your refusal to vacate your premises, the construction of the on-site infrastructure has halted, which has caused a 6-month delay in the project. 2017, any day trade fair, you said I'm a Chinese for so mun develop it. 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, you better do 2024. What say a Fantasy Dome it has derailed or halted Chinese for the Juma. And I'm a area footage. This is trade fair right now. See, this is trade fair. What here? Then what trade fair ha? It just say the Fantasy Dome sitting there. No, it has halted a Juma no trade fair. Show me the work these Chinese have done at trade fair. This is the the aerial shot. Trade fair nini. Fantasy Dome any white part now obubuni na tuogu no. The trade fair for say adikudienti ayebubuni say it has halted the Juma Chinese for here. There are no equipment even on site. A Juma Ben a Chinese for your ha a halted a trade fair a Fantasy Dome a halted the job of the Chinese the construction company. A Juma Ben a no trade fair ha what is here? Then a waha a say a Juma be cost gidi a Chinese for equipment wa almost to us I say almost CBB for 7 years. This is what has been bubu structure. This is what has been left. And he said, trade fair, Agnes, this excuser. Then there is more to this. Now, what happened was, after this guy wrote the letter, Agnes, a reply, I'm talking about trade fair, a reply, and say, they are not going to do what? They are not going to extend the extension he wants, no? They actually did something very interesting. They went ahead and blocking a trade fair a Fantasy Dome for no. So they issued another letter to Fantasy Dome. No, said unapproved entry and exit to the trade fair site. So after a year, Fantasy Dome for extra letter come out trade fair for say give us 60 days to be able to move all these things. You know, the lady wrote back and said no, and she went ahead to say that we have blocked you from coming to trade fair. So Fantasy Dome the workers, whoever is managing it, any event, they have been blocked. Entry and exit. Why won't me go Fantasy Dome? Why won't me go for BBM free? Why won't me for BBM alcohol? And they held the place hostage. Agnes, so technically, why won't me nye juma? Why also workers won't me go juma? Why unim dia onye? The place is sitting there. A jatobu cry, we wouldn't know who is going to stop it because some was security guards to it's security guards. Omunye expert in doing what? Stopping fire. And if people are basically doing something wrong, you wouldn't be able to stop it. This lady went further to say, Wasakrampo akati omo access to trade fair. Fantasy Dome cannot come to trade fair. The management, the ownership, whoever cannot come to the Fantasy Dome. So that is what Agnes did. So the guy said, okay, if that is what you're going to do, then he was going to take the legal route. And the legal route was simple. He was going to go to court for court to also hear him out. Because one, Onka said, free ho. Also, 60 days. Even though, no, one man, countless occasions, I'm verbally, Modin Komo, and Wakacho say, it will take time. Give him time. COVID-19, so it will take time. Finding a new place and all that. But the guy said, okay, I cannot also bring police and land guards to come and stand here and fight Ghana police. So I'm going to go to court. If court hears me out, then it means I'll get the 60 days to gradually move my things. That's all. Because we are living in a land or in a land where the laws are supposed to work. And it should respect every individual. We are all equal before the Lord. Before the law, whether you are an institution or an individual or a citizen, whatever, the law is the law. So this law-abiding citizen said, okay, what is happening now is getting murky. So now I want to go to court. I want to go and hear what the court says. Let's go and hear what the law says about the rift between Fantasy Dome and Trade Fair. Omukodru court, and these are the court documents. So they went to court. Now, when they went to court, something interesting happened. Fantasy for Echo Court, no. Anytime the bailiffs went to Trade Fair office, Agnes so many times they did not allow the bailiff to serve Trade Fair. Every single day, bailiff in the free court say okwa serve again, okwa serve Agnes. No say Agnes too kwine, Agnes ni Trade Fair is closed. That is not even their office. At a point, they told the bailiff that the office is not their office. And at this point, you cannot enter Fantasy Dome. You cannot come out of Fantasy Dome. What should a businessman do? A businessman who was promised by this government and every Ghanaian who is a private businessman that the government was going to collaborate with businessmen to help the entertainment industry. What do? Especially when the businessman does not live in Ghana. Maybe he has some business elsewhere. He has to go and come. What do you do? Now, these people have blocked your business. So this went on for some time. And then the businessman, that is Fantasy Dome, went back to the court. And now the court said that if the Trade Fair people, Agnes does not want to allow bailiffs to serve her, then the court has another option. And the second option was that the court basically granted her the substitute service. In the court, they catch a bailiff and say, "Oko office wo na mka say Agnes ni ho ehon nyom officer fa den rate no fa tare omugeta no." And in law no, and I say court proceedings and I say in court no, say I a substitute service so wo call the pan ho na oni wo kra edan a otim no utumi de tare utumi de rate no tare ne dan nim technically what serve ni pan no. So did it happen? It happened. And this is the video that showed say Trade Fair, they were served. So you see, this court bailiff, substitute service, they put it in front of Agnes, Trade Fair CEO, her office. She ignored it. This is how bad these people are. They don't respect the court. And this lady went ahead after all these things. She sent the national security Kenneth Furatamo Eka said, go and destroy everything. We woke up one morning, all the court documents, I asked 7 women where she said she doesn't care. She sent national security led by Captain Frimpong. They went there and they broke everything down. These people, Fantasy Dome, they did not pick a remote control. They did not pick flash screen. They did not pick anything. A multi-million-dollar edifice. As we speak tonight, there's no work going on at Trade Fair. For the past 7 years, you see Chinese for be Trade Fair. Nobody has seen a truck working at Trade Fair, building one edifice. And then the Leslie guy and all kind of, the government could have even said, say, your edifice is so important to us that why don't we sit and add it to what we are trying to do at Trade Fair? Because at the end of the day, and I'm not doing same coin, we all end up because of entertainment. That's why we are trying to open Trade Fair up. So if we have you a potential investor who has shown over the years that when we give you the necessary push, you can even help our work to become bigger, why not do that? The government goes ahead through the Trade Fair to break this edifice down into pieces. And this lady, she lies that she's a doctor. She's a liar. Autumn glasses. We are going to go into her resume. In America, we are going to show you that the CEO of Trade Fair, she's a liar. She's not a doctor. Okay, Nina Okwa, no, prescribed glasses amount. She is not any medical doctor. She does not have any serious medical background. Na Autumn Space, Atlanta. Grace, me say this lady, Agnes, this lady, na Autumn Space, Atlanta. Autumn Space wa Atlanta, the Costco, a hona no wo. Optometrist. She is an optometrist. Onye eyi Dr. Bia. She came and she lied to Ghanaians and said, oh, a doctor. Obaa. I'm going to pull a resume. Then you will see what she has written in there. And we will let you know from here. This thing, a multi-million-dollar investment Ghana for ebenya opportunity film. See how Fantasy Dome Abua Ghana, the biggest event in the past 7 years, has all been at Fantasy Dome. Nigerians are coming to Ghana to rent Fantasy Dome. It was projecting our entertainment. It was projecting something majority of African countries have never seen before. The NPP through this Petuo, this fake doctor, this CEO of Trade Fair, they have brought the whole thing. They have basically shred the whole thing down in the name of what? Eviction. What you saw is an eviction. What you saw is demolition. What you saw there in the video, and your eviction. What you saw is demolition. Using hard trucks to break down investment is demolition. Now, this gentleman who owns a Fantasy Dome, that is the painful part. The gentleman who owns Fantasy Dome, in and out. And I want to ask a simple question. I want to ask a simple question. Enkran na mo wo enkran no mo ankasa mo pesa mo tran na yenka mo ngu apunim. How many enkran na etuma such an investment? The opinion leaders, the Gamanche, the traditional council, the people who matter in Greater Accra. Are you not hurt? This man is your blood. This man created opportunities for Ga people. The Labadi area, he actually was holding the economy together. Majority of your women, in man in young men, women, youth, every time there's a concert at the Fantasy Dome, and crime from renting at this man, he hires for them to help him. People who were selling, or who are still selling around Trade Fair benefited from Fantasy Dome. So this dome going down, majority of your chiefs and the elderly, you are sitting there. You are going to sit there for this MPP people to come and take the Labadi Beach land and everything from the Trade Fair? It is shocking that you see your own people you speak for. Typical gas. Their brother is being suffocated. Your own blood is being destroyed. Your own God brother. And we have chiefs. We have queen mothers. na modwen sɛ saa asɛm we betuma akɔyɛ no asanteme mu sɛ asanteni bi akɔ abrokyira bɛyɛ adeɛ wei wayɛ no ɔmanhyia koraa inside a odwen sɛ asantefoɔ bɛpene sɛ obi mfiri nkranbra no mɛbubu no. How stupid sometimes can we be? So another guy on his own land, on his own father's land, on his own mother's land, his own people could not protect him. So why should I sit here and protect Ga people? Why should I sit here and talk about Gas? Why they need their lands back? Why they need to reflect and make sure the young people get opportunities? Why should I sit here and make Nkran for my priority?
Mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Now so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.